Stemming from yesterday's podcast, truth in the movies. The world is a stage and we're but mere actors. Think about it. For after all, they do call it theater of war. I can't help wondering if General BREEDLOVE met Dr. GOODHEAD at a World Economic Forum event hosted by Herr Klaus Schwab. People, I'm constantly shocked by how many reasonable people with common sense can't see the obvious and fall for never-ending scams. In their defense, weak that it is, these never-ending scams are perpetrated and backed up by the education system, media, state churches, and of course, the state itself. My alligator mouth that often writes a check my hummingbird ass can't cash isn't going to run on too long today. Nope. Today, the banksters are gangsters, and masons, and jesters. There's a new twist I have to look into. Maybe the Nephilim really do look like clowns. But first, a quick bit of housekeeping. A good sub of mine at the bottom pit yesterday. Come on, people, no names. Come on, don't even ask. We'll just call her, God damn it, what should we call her? We'll just call her Burlogs. Was concerned that, in my opinion, everybody at the bottom pit was room 10 plus 7, low IQ. In her words, stupid. Now, I apologize for her misunderstanding, and it's worth repeating. No, not all attendees at the bottom pit are low IQ. Got it? Good, get it. It is Tuesday, the 12th of July, 2022. I checked my channel history this morning, and it clearly states I joined June 20th, 2016. Son of a bitch, where does the time go? Now, by my math, that's 6 years of duty up on the wall. Which wall? This wall, very near level 7, where things go bump in the night. Yep, the demons are restless, people. I know, trust me. And a funny thing, the topic I started my channel with have now returned full circle to where I'm taking you today. Yep, bankster, gangsters, and banking. Okay, so let's start this with an analogy. 2 stories. So, you drive a car, I drive a pickup. We are good neighbors on good terms. You come to me and ask to borrow my truck because you want to pick up a chest freezer. Oh, you're hoarding meat, huh? Good move. Great move. And it won't fit in your car. Well, no problemo. I lend you my truck. You travel to the tragic city. Yep, why not? And get your freezer. Now, is everybody with me? This is story 1. Now, story 2. This is an analogy, people. You find the home of your dreams in Willow City, North Dakota, USSA, and would love to buy it, and it's only $50,000, brand new, just built by a local contractor. Now, this means passing the home inspection process should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, a consideration you had because you don't have $50K laying around, and you're going to have to look for some financing. So you go to your local bank and meet with the bankster gangster president for a loan. The bankster sitting behind his solid oak desk in his plush and swank office, holding back his smirk and glee because another sucker just walked through the door. So okay, after proving beyond a shadow of a doubt you're a good credit risk, the smiling bankster informs you he thinks he can help you out and help you realize your dream of owning your dream house in Willow City, USA. Sign here on this promissory note is all you have to do. Now, let's compare story 1, reality, with story 2, provable fiction and fantasy. In story 1, I had something you could borrow. Yep, the truck. I threw you the keys and pointed it out, sitting right there in the driveway. And what was our unspoken good neighbor real-world agreement? Hopefully, you'd return my truck. You'd have enough decency at least to fill my tank and replace the gas you used. And that's it. I lend it, you borrowed it, completed your mission, topped off the tank, and because I'm such a nice guy, I really am, people, I even helped you carry your freezer into your house. End of story 1. Now back to story 2. The bankster informs you that he will finance the full amount. You lucky dog, you don't need to come up with a deposit. Yep, $50K, and because he likes you so much, and you both go to the same church, and your kids play together, he will give you a low fixed rate of interest. What a sweetheart deal. Informing you how lucky you are that this is not an adjustable rate mortgage in these uncertain and trying times. So you happily take his pen and sign the promissory note. End of story 2, right? Not quite, people. Let's compare story 1 with story 2. In story 1, I actually could lend you my truck. You could see it, you could feel it, and hear it when it started. In story 2, what did the bankster lend you, and where did he get the money? Well, Jesus H. Christ, Dave, it's a goddamn bank, full of customer depository money in many accounts. The bank in your made-up fictitious story simply checked his computer, saw he had several million in depositors' money to play with, and because he has a fiduciary responsibility to his depositors, so what, he made you go through a credit application. So he wasn't pissing other people's money away. What is wrong with that? Tell me. Good God, man, you see a conspiracy theory behind every tree. Oh, really, people? What's wrong with that? How about everything's wrong with that? First, his depositors have nothing on deposit. Their accounts have been reduced and recorded as bookkeeping entries only. Numbers, people. And numbers aren't real, like pickup trucks. I don't give a shit if you deposit a gold coin, a silver coin, a wrinkly Federal Reserve note, or a paper check. They record the same. That's it, period. The second thing wrong with story 2 is the money you think you borrowed from depositors didn't even exist anywhere until you signed the promissory note. The bankster, with your help, created the money effortlessly. No work, no sweat. Just pick up a pen and sign here, please. Now, do I have a second witness? Oh, I'm glad you asked, and of course I do. Just a quick little reading from a Federal Reserve publication, the Undisputed Monetary Authority of the United States. Come on, people, don't act like I'm going to read a Bible verse here. From page 2 of Modern Money Mechanics, Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago. Money is such a routine part of everyday living that its existence and acceptance ordinarily taken for granted. How true that is, people. A user may sense that money must come into being either automatically as a result of economic activity or as an outgrowth of some government operation. But just how this happens all too often remains a mystery. Don't you like a good mystery, people? Well, mystery solved on page 3. The actual process of money creation takes place in the banks. Well, that was quick, huh? Unbelievable. So there's your second witness. Argue with them. So back to you. You, on the other hand, dear borrower, with your 30-year mortgage, will pretend to repay the bankster 3 times the amount asked for your new home. And get this, you have to work for the money because you don't have a license to create money effortlessly like your oh-so-friendly bankster. Yeah, it still cracks me up, people. My banker said. Your banker? No, you're his bitch. Deal with it. The contractor gets the 50,000 of newly created bookkeeping entries. You get a 30-year obligation to slave away, and the banker walks away with a cool 100 grand. How cool is that? He goes out and buys a new side-by-side, sees you in the bar, and reminds you what a good deal you got. So you, dumbass, buy him a drink. Amazing. The bankster didn't help build a house. He did zero framing, siding, roofing, plumbing, or electrical, and definitely zero drywall and taping. It's one of the greatest scams going on, and you'll die to defend it. Now, it could be argued that banking is older than the world's oldest profession, prostitution. Maybe so. I wouldn't know. But I know you get fucked in both cases, so one should have a happy ending, and the other a 30-year nightmare. For what happens if you lose your job or livelihood? Yeah, the bankster gangster, your buddy, forecloses on your ass and boots you to the curb. See ya. Nice doing business with you. At least in story 1, I didn't ask you to return 3 pickup trucks back to me. Oh yeah, Dave? Well, you talking me a game of pool. I'll bet you financed your truck, didn't you, huh? Didn't you? Oh yes, I did, people. And I'll have you cover that in tomorrow's podcast. But right now, I got stuff to do.